One man is being victimized by our own government. One man whom they fear, yet who millions love. One man who is willing to take the poison arrows of lawfare. One man whose voice has been taken away by a corrupt judge operating in a corrupt system. One man who has been ridiculed and insulted. One man who refused to back down. One man who refused to back down. One man who refused to back down. One man who stands between us and them. One man that wants to see America protected again. One man who wants to see America prosper again. One man who understands that a man is a man and a woman is a woman. One man who understands and protects the blessing of life. One man who wants to restore American exceptionalism. One man who once again wants to make America that shining city on a hill for all to see. A place where all the people of the world glowingly set their eyes upon. America. One man who unashamedly wants to make America great again. That one man is Donald Trump.
This is Fanfare with Barry Cunningham.
Matt Gaetz comes on my show a couple of days ago, and he says there's 5 assassination teams targeting Trump. 5 assassination teams, 3 of which have foreign ties. I think we know one of them already, and then 2 of which are domestic. What people need to understand is the bounty and the 5 assassination teams are tied. It's like they're actually competing for this bounty. Donald Trump's very life is on the line, and every time he goes up to speak now, he has to stand behind what I call leftist glass because they keep trying to kill him.
He's a brave man, I must say, whatever you think of Trump. He doesn't need this.
Meanwhile,
he says is the opposite. It's just another lie. Like, how did we get here? Let's extinguish him for good. We have an answer. We have a remarkably talented candidate who is sincere, who's pragmatic, who's open. Let's just get it done.
then he just wouldn't go. He was like a bug. He just kept being there. He was like a bug right there. Zzz. So you felt...
Let's extinguish him for good. Let's extinguish him for good. Let's extinguish him for good. Let's extinguish him for good.
This isn't normal. I don't care by what stretch of the imagination you can think about. None of this is normal. This is absolutely nuts. Trump is about to give a speech in North Carolina at a manufacturing plant. And meanwhile, all across the world, it seems, everybody wants to take Trump out. And I don't mean out of the race. I mean, like she just said, eliminate him for good. Get rid of him. We are in such a precarious situation right now. I don't think enough Americans are paying attention. And obviously not enough Americans actually care. It's a joke. Who cares? If he's gone, so what? Oh, it makes good television. This thing is about to explode. Now, we know of 2 very visible attempts. One, obviously, in Butler, Pennsylvania. The other with the guy crawling around in the bushes in West Palm Beach. But do you know there have been multiple attempts to take out Trump? And you'd think at this point the Democrats would pull back and say, you know what, maybe we should shut up. Maybe we shouldn't egg these people on. Well, in fact, what are they doing? They're doing it more. They've amplified it. They've accelerated it. They know at this point she can't win. Kamala Harris cannot win. I've been telling you guys for months. It's in landslide territory. There is no way she can win a legal presidential race. Her campaign is in free fall. It's over. It's absolutely over. I'm telling you today, it's over. Barring cheating and barring them putting a bullet in his head. Other than that, they have no options. They're done. Trust me, I'm telling you that. But the possibility of what they're trying to do in coordination with other countries is absolutely mind-bogglingly sick. And most people don't want to talk about it because I don't know why they won't talk about it. This should be the front page news all the time on every station, Fox including. Hey, listen, we're in danger. We're in danger. I got to show you something that Trump posted himself. And that way you can actually get a grasp of this yourself. He posted this on Truth Social, obviously, and it was a press release. And it says, President Trump was briefed earlier today by the Office of the Director of National Intelligence regarding real and specific threats from Iran to assassinate him in an effort to destabilize and sow chaos in the United States, i.e. help start World War III, which we all know they want. Intelligence officials have identified that these continued and coordinated, notice that wording, continued. He's under constant threat. They are continuing to coordinate attacks. They have heightened in the past few months, and law enforcement officials across all agencies are working to ensure President Trump is protected and the election is free from interference. Make no mistake, the terror regime in Iran loves the weakness of Kamala Harris and is terrified of the strength and resolve of President Trump. He will let nothing stop him or get in his way to fight for the American people. Excuse me. And to make America great again. Steve Chung, the Trump campaign communications director, was the guy who put that out. Scared yet? Had a frog in my throat. If that doesn't scare you, perhaps this will give you a little bit more insight as well. This here is from Dan Bongino, who put this out, I think yesterday is when this came out. And you need to see this. This is absolutely chilling.
Listen to me.
Oops.
Trump is being hunted by professionals who know exactly what they're doing. And because I hate teases, is the Secret Service compromised? Now, I know you say, well, Dan, you brought that up last week. Is there a mole, whether intentional or unintentional, in the Secret Service? I'll talk about that. But someone, let's just say who can be trusted, I spoke to last week at the end of the week, has informed me that their communication system for the Secret Service may be almost entirely compromised. In other words, people trying to hunt and kill Donald Trump may know more about what Donald Trump is doing than Donald Trump is doing. Folks, we got a serious problem. And the problem is the people in charge of the Secret Service right now are not serious people. The people at the top are too busy trying to cover up their own role in the substandard security plan for President Trump. Nothing is going to change. We are in real trouble. I'm not trying to scare anyone. I'm not trying to panic anyone. I'm trying to tell you this isn't over. You thought it was over after the first one? We had the second one. You thought it was over after the second one? Folks, there's more. He is being hunted right now.
Sorry for the aspect ratio being off. He did that, somebody put that in a vertical format. I use landscape. In any event, Donald Trump is being hunted. Understand what he just said, and what everybody has been saying at this point is that this man is being hunted. They don't want to defeat him because they know now that they can't defeat him. So the only thing they can do is to take him out. I'm going to show you some recent tweets. This was actually put out there by Donald Trump himself. Big threats on my life by Iran. The entire U.S. military is watching and waiting. Moves were already made by Iran that didn't work out. He just confirmed. He just confirmed. By the way, let me scroll down to the date so you guys can see this. This was this morning at nearly 1 o'clock in the morning. Moves are already been made by Iran that didn't work out. There have been other continued attempts on this man's life. Not many people know this. It's scary. But they will try again. He's certain of it because obviously his security people have told him. Not a good situation for anyone. I am surrounded by more men, guns, and weapons than I've ever seen before. So those of you who are wondering, hey, listen, he needs more security. He's got the security. How they're being placed, we don't know. We don't know. Remember we saw him these guys get off the plane like they were SEAL Team 6. There is extra security there, but we don't know what the threat may be. The fact that he needs basically an army surrounding him at this point is extremely scary. Dan Bongino said, I'm not looking to scare you. Yeah, you should be scared. You should be afraid. And you should turn that fear into absolute anger. And that anger should be righteous and be out there telling everybody, this is BS. You can't laugh at it. You can't have these people saying eliminate him, exterminate him. He's a bug. This is absurd. They are looking to kill this man. And people are laughing it off in audiences like it's no big deal. I've been sounding the alarm. I've been telling you, tell this to everybody. Why everybody? Because not many people are hearing it. Not many people are seeing it, especially those people in the middle. Those people in the middle, those independents need to know right now. Listen, this is so friggin' bad. The Democrats are trying to take this man out. I'm pretty sure that would sway some people going, our government's involved in this crap? Yes. Let them know. I've seen many of you on Twitter and I'm like, yes, the little army is out there working, letting people know, sharing stories, sharing videos. We gotta do it. We have to help save this man. He goes on, thank you to Congress for unanimously approving far more money to Secret Service. Zero no votes, strictly bipartisan. They all agreed, give him more money. Nice to see Republicans and Democrats come together on something. An attack on a former president is a death wish for the attacker. Notice he put death wish in capital letters. Anybody have any idea why he may have put death wish in capital letters? Some of you guys may be, about the same age as me, and you're probably wondering, Death Wish. Wasn't that a movie with Charles Bronson? What happened in that movie with Charles Bronson and Death Wish? Pretty much the hunter became the hunted. Which tells me that Trump isn't sitting back and letting this stuff happen. That there are operations going on that we will never know about to take out the bad guys as well. And here he is getting ready to take a speech at a manufacturing site, and we've got people going crazy. This was posted by Senator Josh Hawley. A whistleblower tells me the Secret Service denied the Trump campaign the resources and manpower for a rally in Wisconsin. That contradicts Rowe, the acting director, who said Trump, Harris, and Biden were all getting the same protection. Harris held a Wisconsin rally last week. Now we find out Trump can't even hold a rally in Wisconsin because they're like, hey, we can't protect you, bro. Sorry, shit might happen. That is unacceptable. That is unacceptable that you're saying you cannot protect the president. Or former president, as you like to say. So are you saying that if Dementia Joe was going to go do something in Iowa or go to The View, you couldn't protect him? Are you admitting to the world that you cannot protect our assets? That is absolutely sick. Absolutely. This one, if what Dan Bongino said to you doesn't scare you, check out this one. For those questioning Trump's tweet earlier on threats, which I just showed you, I'm going to go ahead and release this. According to my sources, the Iran made anti-air weapon systems in the United States. So Iran has anti-air weapon systems in the United States, now threatening Trump, have a 5-kilometer horizontal range, about 4 miles, a 4,000 meter altitude capacity. So that's in excess of 12,000 feet. So he's going to have to fly high. 1.4 kilogram warhead with fragmentation and a 360-degree IR scanning homing system to guide themselves into the aircraft. These things are man-made portable. You can just drive up, easily carried in a car or a pickup truck. Some of you will know these specs and you will know exactly what weapon system this is. These are, let me just raise this up, these are multiple units of this already in the hands of kill teams. The threat against Trump is real. He's right to exercise extreme caution and protective measures. How many times does Trump have to dodge a bullet or a missile, because maybe some of these missiles have been fired, before you believe him when he says he's being threatened again? And people are down here saying, maybe it's not just foreign teams. I'm not going to even touch that because I can't here, which is another reason why I've got to take certain inside videos off platforms. We need to talk about this, and we need to talk about it immediately. Let me continue here. Chuck Colesto says, shock report, Trump would-be, can't say the word here, Ryan Routh had a memo that detailed President Trump's schedule all the way through October. I brought that up when it first came out. I do all Trump's events, every single event that gets posted. How did this guy know what Trump's events were going to be through October? Something is going on, and it's nefarious, and it's absolutely, absolutely treasonous. Bo Loudon's, and this is what we have to care for. That was a lucky one. Maybe not that lucky, maybe right up there. Thank you. Keep praying for Trump. Share this to make it go viral. That's when he looked up to this guy and said, thank you, God, for saving my life. Because that's what it's going to take at this point. It's going to take the complete overwatch of Trump right now by God, God's hand, and the armor of God to keep this man safe. I don't know what else to tell you. Throw every poll out the window. Ignore the polls. This action and what these people are trying to do wouldn't be happening if she had any chance of actually winning. You are watching a shell game. You're looking at, what's that, 3-card Monty. It's all an illusion. I've been saying it over and over and over again. Let me shake you. You're being lied to. She can't win. It's over. Done. Forget the polls. Everything you see on the media is BS. They're trying to kill her opponent. Every time he does one of these speeches, he's coming out and say, hey, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, because she can't do it. We're ready to go. They know it. She can't. She's going to have to fly down to the border, on Friday, and make a quick appearance. Hey, I was there. Well, do something. Nope, she can't do anything. It's all BS. We got 40-something days left to get this man to the finish line. And then we're going to have to take another 45 or 60 days to get him inaugurated. This isn't, like Dan Bongino said, this isn't over by a long shot. We don't have to get him into the, elected. We have to get him inaugurated. So you're looking at mid-January. This stuff is going to continue, and it may even escalate. If I were Trump, once I got elected, I'd take off to a bunker someplace. I was like, nope, I'm done. I'll come out and give my congratulations speech. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'll see you in January. See you? Bye. Okay, I'm done. And then just wait. Get out of the public view. Every once in a while, step out and go wave, kiss a baby, do whatever you need to do, and get back in a bunker. They are going to come after him with everything they got, and the only thing stopping them from meeting their goal is God and you talking about it. Expose everything. Everything. Please, I beg of you. Spread the word. People need to know. It's being suppressed in so many different places because they don't want the normies to know what's going on. I bet you if you try to share this video on Facebook, Facebook may go, nope, can't do it. Sorry. Misinformation. No, it's not. No, it's not. The Secret Service have said, Trump himself have confirmed they are trying to take him out. We need to let people know this is what's going on in this government. This is what Dementia Joe and Kamala are trying to do, because if they weren't, if you were a person with heart, knowing this is a man, a business owner, a husband, a father, a grandfather, you would walk out as the president and say, enough. Enough. Not while I'm still in office, Dementia Joe could say. We are not going to accept this. We are going to have a fair and open election, and anybody that I hear of that's talking like this or aiding and abetting, you're going right to Gitmo. Period. Kamala Harris, you want to see your poll numbers go up? Maybe I shouldn't tell you. You should do the same thing. I stand firmly with Americans. We are not going to allow this in our presidential elections. There is no place for it. I agree with Dementia Joe. You talk like this, we hear anybody talking about exterminate, eliminate, eradicate, you're going to Gitmo. Done. But they won't do it. They won't do it because they don't care and they prefer it. There's no other reason. I'm hot about it. I'm sure you're hot about it. I'm sure any real American would be hot about it. So why isn't the vice president and the president of the United States hot about it? Why aren't they out there saying, knock it off? Give this man a complete squadron if he needs it. Give him SEAL Team 6 if he needs it. But they don't. They go on The View and they say stupid stuff. And Kamala keeps tweeting over and over and over, lie after lie after lie. They know what you should know. They know this thing is done. Over, kaput. The only way she can win at this point is for someone to grace her with his casket. And then, if that were to happen, Katie bar the door. Katie bar the door, shit's gonna hit the fan 6 ways from Sunday. You know it, and I know it, and they know it. All right, so waiting for Trump to show up. It's 12:53. Sorry, I didn't mean to start this show this way, but I've seen this stuff today, and I went, this is enough. This is enough. And I know this is probably going to be one of our slower shows because it's just a manufacturing meeting and he's going to talk at a factory. It's not a rally. So what I'm going to do after this show is cut up that initial part there. I'm going to turn it into its own video. So it's going to be like about a 15-minute video that you can then please like it and then share it everywhere. As I outline this, I'll probably add some more stuff that's come out in the last hour or so. So please do that. Tonight, I want you to join me. Tonight, this should be funny. Kamala Harris is doing an interview. I call it an interview. It's the clown show at 6:30. She's doing an interview on MSNBC. Oh, it's going to be funny. It's not even live. It's taped. It's BS. And it's being given by the same woman who was on Bill Maher just last week saying Kamala Harris shouldn't have to answer any questions. Oh, okay, so it's a home team thing again. And you're going to ask her, like, what kind of makeup she uses and, crap. But we get together, and we're going to laugh at it. We're going to roast the entire interview. Join me at 6:30 tonight. So I'm waiting for Trump to show up. And in the interim, let's talk. You're right. It wouldn't let me share it to Facebook. Nope, not going to let you do it. Talk about Soros buying all those radio stations. Not only did he buy those radio stations, in case some of you don't know, that's going to be a whole nother video. Soros bought 200 radio stations across the country, and the FCC fast-tracked it so he can get it done right away. They put it on a fast track so Soros could do it. Unbelievable. Cute circus music. Yeah, I'll have it tonight. Oh yeah, it's definitely going to be a circus. Can't ride, can't hide, Barry. Fight, absolutely. Joe Sapp says, I am pissed off. I'm not going to take anymore. If you think you're pissed off now, wait till you see if they actually succeed in what they're trying to do. I think they want it. I think they figure if they take him down, then it'd be easy to take us down. Crazy. President Trump, 2024, amen, all the way. Yes, absolutely. Yes, lots of prayers, lots of prayers. Yep, you're right. This is absolutely nuts. Waltz met with Soros yesterday. Yeah, they're not even done. Not even done with it. Funny you don't see us Republicans try to take out Kamala, but we're the radical ones and violent. Yeah. Yep. That's what they always say. I heard it was all Mexican stations. I'll do my research on it and I'll see what that comes out to be. And what happened to the whistleblower investigation that came out about ABC and Kamala? It's a federal complaint right now. You can look it up. There is a federal complaint open with the SEC, Securities Exchange Commission. So you can actually look it up. So it's ongoing. The media just won't report it. There's nothing fake about that. There's an actual complaint. And I don't think anybody would sign their name to a complaint that was fraudulent, because that's called perjury. Absolutely perjury. You go to jail for doing something like that. Looking at this manufacturing plant that Trump is scheduled to walk up, nothing yet. Racy says, my nerves have been shot over this. In my 62 years, I've never seen anything like this in our country. That's because you're 1 year old last time it happened. Actually, you were 1 year old one time it happened, then you were like 6 years old when the other time it happened. We're going to have to go back all the way till November of 1963, and then June of 1968. It happened twice. Didn't have the, quote, fanfare that's going on right now, because, it's a lot bigger world, communication-wise. But here it is 60 years later, and we don't have any information as to what happened to Kennedy, either of the Kennedys. Just two crazy guys decided they were going to somehow take a shot at a president and a presidential candidate. Sorry, you don't deserve to have any more information. Crazy. Comrade Kamala cannot say that, or she would end up in Gitmo. She's out front and saying President Trump. Yeah, it's crazy. Oh yeah, unless your name is Hillary Clinton. Odd that all the crap she's done. No problem with her. Nobody's asked her where the 320,000 kids are from Haiti or anything else. I'm mad as hell. I'm not going to take it anymore. I think they're underestimating. Yeah, you remember. I think they're underestimating Americans at this point. Really underestimating Americans. Barry, what is the difference between the 1960s Democrat Party and the Democrat Party now? Because 1960s Democrats, many of them, still believed in America. They wanted to run it a certain way, but they believed in America. They didn't talk all this talk. Here's one. How has your language changed since 1960? Let me know, because I know there's certain words you can't say right now. You can't even utter them in public. Oh my God, he said that. Look up the terms dead naming and slut shaming and mansplaining. What is that? You're basically changing our vocabulary, just flipping it upside down. I got this for you again. You got here incoming. Some of you guys who don't know, I've been dropping little red pills for you along the way. I want you to take another red pill. I want you to go look up the Mandela effect. When you see that's going to tell you what the difference was in 1960. That's going to give you a huge difference in knowing what happened back then. Things that you think you remember are no longer what you thought you remembered. As you start looking at some of this stuff, it's going to make you go, what? No, I know what I know. No, not anymore. I remember a song that used to get played around Christmas time. Many of you my age or a little bit younger probably remember this staple of Christmas. Baby, it's cold outside. Radio stations won't play that song anymore. They will not play that song. Go look it up. What happened in 1960 that's not like right now? Transformers? Were they running around in schools? Don't know. Don't think so. If you did, you kept that to yourself. There's so many things that show you what's different now than what was back then. So when they say, as her slogan is, we're never going back, what she really means is we're never going back to normal. Not just to better gas prices, cheaper rent, X, Y, and Z. We're not going back to the time when America was great. Oh, America was never great. Tell me when America was great. When I didn't have to worry about what I was saying. When I didn't have to worry about my kids being in a party with Transformers. When I didn't have to worry about what language I could use as long as I wasn't offending somebody. When I'll tell you when America was great, when people of alternative lifestyles could live their lifestyles in peace without ramming it down my throat. I don't need to know the proclivities that happen in your bedroom. I may not approve, I may not agree, but that's none of my business. I've learned that over just the course of years. Like, I don't like that. I don't stand for that. Bear, it's none of your business. Yeah, it's none of your business. Keep it that way. If it's none of my business, keep it that way. You want to go rough riding? Go for it. I don't need to know about it. I don't need to see you twerking in the street with a G-string and a banana hammock. I don't need to see that. You don't need to see what I do. I bet you some of you want to. But anyway, that's a different story. She didn't hear that, I hope. In any event, we don't need that. And we definitely didn't need the stuff that's going on right now. I'm going to do my first members only video. I'm going to post it on Twitter so you can see the difference of what I'm going to be talking about in terms of commenting that I can't even possibly remotely talk about here. And I saw something. I saw two videos yesterday. I went, oh man, is this where we are? Yeah. Okay. Let's see. What are we going? Oh, we got some trolls going on here. That's pretty cool. I heard detention centers have been built in various locations. Apparently, are not for newcomers, but rather for people who oppose government. Haven't heard it, but I don't doubt it. I had an uncle. If he was still living, would be in jail right now. He called a spade, like it or not. I don't have a problem with that, calling something a spade a spade. It doesn't connotate racism. Everything that somebody says out their mouth isn't racism, but they want you to believe it. Yeah, make Christmas again. By the way, have you ever seen the video? I'll have to post it. If you guys haven't seen it, let me know. Where she says we shouldn't be allowed to say Merry Christmas. Because it's not Merry Christmas for some people who live in third world countries or newcomers, we who celebrate Christmas, and I'm not just talking gifts, because gifts is a byproduct. We all know what Christmas really means. We should not be allowed to say Merry Christmas. Now understand, she gets elected, that's still in the back of her mind. I'm looking to see if he's walking out yet. They're panning the crowd. And let me just check. Yep, here comes the man. Is he on time? Damn, he's almost right on time. All right, so I'll get back to that. But yeah, they don't even want to sing Christmas. Don't say Merry Christmas. All right, he's walking right to the podium with purpose. Looks like this man is ticked off to no end because he probably knows what people are trying to do to him. I see the music. Let me just cut over. All right, we just caught the end. All right. We'll get going here in a second. Let him talk. He's just waiting for the music to stop, and then we'll switch. I'm gonna, again, as always, I've got two feeds going just in case things don't work on one feed. I'm looking at this. He's talking inside of a factory, so I'm not sure how the lighting is or anything else like that. But yeah, Merry Christmas, everyone. Don't let him do it to you. JFK made everyone suspicious of the government. RFK and MK almost tore this country apart. If something happens to Trump, it will be game on. Whew. Yeah, Merry Christmas. Oh yeah, and good. I forgot about that. You can't say good morning either. That was another thing of hers. I was just thinking about that. Barry Harris said, "How dare we say Merry Christmas? How dare you say it?" So they're still playing the music, waiting for him to walk up to the mic. He's so funny. You guys, I don't know how you dance to that song, but he sure enough finds a way to dance to it. God Bless the USA. I guess he's in a good mood. Let's see here. What? Yeah, you didn't know that? Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to y'all as well. It's Christmas in September. I'm good with that. It's not like the 80s anymore. I don't trust that Iran thing. Think it's more inside than that. And just wait for him to, as you can see, when he steps up to the mic, we'll see what happens. I love it. You guys are all Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. So that's the feed that's coming in. He's stepping up to the mic, and let's hear let me know how the volume is.
Much everybody, and thank you very much. A very big hello to North Carolina, special place. You saw the other day my little granddaughter, she's named Carolina. There's for a reason, because Lara, her mother is from here, and she's doing a fantastic job, a fantastic person. So it's great to be here and great to be back in this beautiful state with thousands of proud, hardworking American patriots, which is what you are. I want to thank very much Glenn Mosack and everyone at the Mosack Group for welcoming me. And I must tell you, Glenn is the owner and the boss and all of that. And he grabbed me as I'm coming up. He grabbed me, "Sir, I want to just tell you something." He said, "Before tariffs, when you put those tariffs on, this was just a dead, empty building. It wasn't functioning. And you put those tariffs on, and now we're a manufacturing powerhouse." He said they were only importing product. Now, he said they were only a lot of it. You see a lot of it here. That's a lot of product. And I know that. I've known that for a long time, and that's what we're going to be doing on a much, much larger scale. And our congressmen that are here and senators, a lot of people here. I'll just introduce a couple real fast, but I just want you to know that I couldn't have been more beautifully greeted when Glenn said that, because I've been trying to explain that to people. They don't understand it, but this was he called it an empty hulk, and now it's a thriving business. We're also joined by, thank you very much. We're also joined by congressional nominees. Mark Harris is doing fantastically well. No relation to Kamala Harris, I don't assume. No, I don't think so. You're doing very well. You're doing better than she is, I can tell you that, in the polls. And Pat Harrigan. Thank you. Good luck, Pat. Good. I heard you're both doing great. And, of course, North Carolina GOP Chairman Jason Simmons, who's a fantastic job. I heard we had a great poll this morning. That was good. We're doing well. We've won North Carolina twice, and we got to win it one more time. And we win North Carolina, we're going all the way. Perhaps we go all the way anyway, but this is a very important place, a very important state, and I love it. And as the expression goes, we have family here, and we really do. I also own a big enterprise down the road at Lake Norman. Does anybody know of what I have? And it's been very, very successful. Trump National, it's been great, right on Lake Norman, which is so beautiful. I wish I had time to go see it. I won't have time to even see it. I got to go in and out, but I'll be back. As you know, there have been 2 assassination attempts on my life that we know of, and they may or may not involve, but possibly do, Iran. But I don't really know, can't be sure, because in the first case in Butler, Pennsylvania, great place. And we're going back to Butler, by the way. We're going to go back and finish our speech. The FBI has been unable to open the 3 potentially foreign-based apps. And in the second case, the assassin had 6 cell phones in his car, yet the FBI has likewise been unable to penetrate their guard. Shouldn't be tough to do. They want to know, and I want to know, and the whole country and maybe the world wants to know, who is he calling? Who is he calling?
Yes.
In the old days, the FBI and the DOJ used to capture people before anything happened. In current days, the upper echelon of the FBI is all talk while they focus on the sitting president's political opponents. That's what they're doing. They spend so much time. We won the case in Florida. It's all a big scam. It's all against a political opponent, me, who's doing better in the polls than anybody else and should be hopefully able to recapture the presidency in 41 days and make our country great again. But all they focus on is their political opponent. But they must get Apple to open these foreign apps, and they must get Apple to likewise open the 6 phones from the second lunatic, who's a lunatic, and open them immediately, because we have a lot at stake, whether it's me or any other former president. They break into apps all the time. They had no problem breaking into the apps of the J6 hostages. They broke into those apps, and they could be Iran-based. They could also be something else, but we'll never know until they're opened, and they got to get them opened. And really, why is it that the father of the shooter in the Butler instance has one of the best and most expensive lawyers in the entire state of Pennsylvania? How did he get to this expensive lawyer, big law firm, the biggest in Pittsburgh? Where did he get this big law firm from? It's sort of strange. If I were president and a former president and a leading candidate, I'm the leading candidate by far to be the next president. And that leading candidate was under threat. If I was president and the candidate was under threat, any candidate, Republican or Democrat, and by the way, I want to thank the Democrats because they just increased funding for the Secret Service, who work very hard. They increased funding for the Secret Service, and nobody will believe this. It was a unanimous vote. Republicans, every single Republican, every single Democrat present voted in favor. That was the first unanimous vote we've seen in a long time, and that's to increase the funding of the Secret Service. So I thank everybody in Congress. But if I were the president, I would inform the threatening country, in this case Iran, that if you do anything to harm this person, we are going to blow your largest cities and the country itself to smithereens. We're going to blow it to smithereens. You can't do that. And there would be no more threats. There would be no more threats. But right now, we don't have that leadership or the necessary people, the necessary leaders. We have 2 people, not one. We don't even know who our president is right now. Who is our president right now? We really don't know, but we have 2 people, not one, that only keep looking. And when you do that, when you just look, trouble always ensues. So it's big trouble for our country. Meanwhile, we have the president of Iran in our country this week. We have large security forces guarding him, and yet they're threatening our former president and the leading candidate to become the next president of the United States. Certainly a strange set of circumstances. Around the world, our enemies are desperate to prevent Donald Trump from returning to the White House because they know I will make America great again. They don't want that. 4 years ago, our country was feared and respected, and our country will soon be feared and respected again. We have to have that. And that's why we all need to pull together to thwart these attempts and to bring back American strength, power, and prestige. We will soon have it back. No threat will shake me. No enemy will intimidate me. And I have never been more determined than I am today, and I will never back down in my fight to make America great again, which is what we're doing. So I want to make that statement because we are under threat. I have been threatened very directly, and I appreciate the agencies that we've been meeting with, but we've been threatened very directly by Iran. And I think you have to let them know, because the best way to do it is through the office of the president, that you do any attacks on former presidents or candidates for president, your country gets blown to smithereens, as we say. 41 days from now, we are going to win the state of North Carolina. We are going to defeat Comrade Kamala Harris, and we are going to take back our country. We're going to take it back. Yesterday, I was in Georgia, a great place, to outline my plan for an American manufacturing renaissance. That's what we're doing. We got tremendous reviews on that speech. Now today, Kamala Harris is supposedly announcing her so-called plans to support manufacturing and wealth creation. Why didn't she do it 3.5 years ago? They've done nothing. Why didn't she do everything 3.5 years ago? She's been there for almost 4 years, and she didn't do it. She didn't create wealth. She destroyed 22% of the value of every dollar in your pocket and jeopardized us in front of the remaining portions of the marketplace. And the world's reserve currency is under siege right now. A lot of people think we won't have the reserve currency. If we lose that, that's like the equivalent of losing a war. If we lose that, if I'm elected president, we will have the world's reserve currency in better shape and order, and every country will follow it. And if they don't, we will put tariffs on that country, and we won't trade with that country. And they will then call us and say, we would love to have you continue to be the world's reserve currency, sir. So easy. It's so easy, but you need the right messenger. You need the right messenger. She didn't support domestic manufacturing. She killed 24,000 U.S. manufacturing jobs. In the last month alone, we lost 24,000 jobs. You know, there is a reason for the interest rate cut from the Fed. Big part of that reason is that our economy is doing really, really badly. Kamala goes to work every day in the White House. Families are suffering now. So if she has a plan, she should stop grandstanding and do it. Just do it. You have a few months left. Do it. Do it. You have plans for the border? Do it now. You know, you don't need anything at the border. All you need is the President of the United States to say, the border is closed. I didn't have anything. I had only a good thought process. I closed the border. I built hundreds of miles of wall, and I got Mexico to give us thousands of soldiers to guard our country so people didn't come in. And we had the safest border in the history of our country. I didn't need to have a document. I was president. I said to the Border Patrol, nobody better than the Border Patrol and ICE and all of the rest, law enforcement in this country, of which I have the endorsement of almost every single law enforcement group. But Kamala should have closed the border years ago, and we wouldn't have hostile takeovers of Springfield, Ohio, Aurora, Colorado, where they're actually going in with massive machine gun type equipment. They're going in with guns that are beyond even military scope, and they're taking over apartment buildings. They're taking over real estate. They're in the real estate development business. Congratulations. These are In that case, people from Venezuela, young street gang members that were sent here by the Venezuelan government. You know, crime in Venezuela is way down. Crime all over the world is way down, except here. I was right in the debate when David Muir kept interrupting me over and over and over again. And he said to me, when I said crime is way up, it's rampant because of what's happening in our country. And he said, no, crime is not up. That's a mistake. Crime. Well, the following day, the Department of Justice announced the crime figures up 44%, up much more than that in certain categories. But I haven't gotten an apology. No vice president in history has done more damage to the United States economy than Kamala Harris. She has no idea what she's talking about on economy or really on anything else. If you watched Oprah the other day and you watched those answers, you wouldn't even be thinking of her for president of the United States, because we had 4 years of that, and our country can't take 4 more years of that, I can tell you. But twice she cast the deciding votes that caused the worst inflation in maybe 100 years. She abolished our borders and flooded our country with 21 million plus illegal aliens. They came in from all over. Think of it. They came from prisons and jails. They came from mental institutions and insane asylums. They're terrorists. They're criminal street gangs. They're MS-13. We took millions of people like this into our country, and we're going to get them out, and we're going to get them out fast, I can tell you. No country can survive that. No country can survive it. But ask yourself, is anything less expensive than it was 4 years ago? Where are the missing 818,000 jobs? Remember, they said 808, they were fake jobs. And they thought they'd be caught, but they thought it was going to be after the election, not before the election. They had a leaker, thank you, Mr. Leaker. They had a leaker who leaked the fact that they falsified the numbers. Nobody talks about it. The press refuses to write it. We don't want to hear Kamala's fake promises, even something like she worked very long and hard hours over French fries at McDonald's. She'd never worked at McDonald's. It was a fake story. It was a fake story. The press now refuses to write it because it's so, you know, there's a very simple one. She said she worked at McDonald's and she didn't. Not highly sophisticated, not complicated. It was a lie. She never worked at McDonald's over the hot French fries. I think I'm going to a McDonald's in 2 weeks, actually, and I'm going to work the French fries because I will have worked longer and harder at McDonald's than she did if I do that even for a half an hour. So we want to hear an apology for all of the jobs and all of the lives that she's destroyed. Think of it. They created 818,000 fake jobs so that the job numbers would look better. But they got caught before the election. They were going to announce it after the election that it was a mistake. It wasn't a mistake. It was fraud. And the Attorney General should look into it because nobody's ever had that kind of a mistake before in this country. 800, almost 1 million jobs, a mistake. But she got caught. So I just, sometimes these whistleblowers and leakers are okay with me. Kamala Harris is a one-woman economic wrecking ball. And this November, the people of North Carolina are going to tell her we've had enough. We can't take it anymore. Kamala Harris, you're fired. Get out. You're fired. You did a lousy job as vice president. Look, Joe is the worst president in the history of our country. Jimmy Carter is the happiest man because the Carter administration, by comparison, was totally brilliant. And Kamala is considered, and if you go back 7 weeks, was considered the worst vice president in the history of our country. And now she wants to be president. We can't let it happen. And she's a Marxist. We're not ready for a Marxist president, and we never will be. North Carolina was once the beating heart of American manufacturing. I know it very well. I was here many times to buy furniture for buildings. I'd come and I'd look, and there was nobody like the Craftsman of North Carolina. It was filled with companies like this one and known everywhere for its incredible craftsmanship and skill. I know from personal experience, though, that I was a big buyer. I bought a lot of things here. That there was no place for furniture in particular, like North Carolina. You were the furniture capital of the world, but now so much of that business has been stolen from you, and it's made in China and other places. And by the way, it's not as good. The quality is nowhere near. You made furniture. You bought a chair. It was good for 30 years. You buy some of these chairs that they sell you now, they break after about 2 months. People are laying on the floor, suing you for giving a bad chair. Then on top of it all, our government keeps them out. Then on top of it all, you get sued because they fell out of a chair at a hotel. Boy, oh boy, you made the best product. You made the best furniture. After the twin betrayals of NAFTA, which I ended, and China's entry into the WTO, World Trade, North Carolina lost over 300,000 manufacturing jobs quickly, including 60% of its furniture manufacturing jobs, and that number was going up until I came along. No one in Washington ever cared until me. In 4 short years, I ended NAFTA, the worst trade deal ever made, and replaced it with the USMCA, considered the best trade deal ever made, kept you in business. And I stood up to China like never before, including by imposing a 22% tariff on all Chinese furniture imports, saving the North Carolina furniture industry, what was left of it, because when I got there, you were in bad shape. But I saved the rest of the industry from total obliteration, just like Glenn said here. This building was an empty hoaxer until you put tariffs on, and now it's thriving, and a lot of people working here. It's a beautiful, beautiful site, beautiful place, great-looking product. Almost overnight, we reduced Chinese furniture imports by 25%. And I just want to say to North Carolina, you're welcome. Get out and vote for Trump. That's all I ask. I don't ask much. Vote for Trump, right? These beautiful women are from North Carolina. They have been following me all over the United States for years. This is number 232, and this isn't a rally. This is just a gathering of business people, just letting them know how well we're doing with all of the things that we're doing and how well we're doing in the polls. We're doing very well. We're leading in North Carolina by nice numbers, I think, but the real story is now being told because you're hearing the story. But these women have followed me all over. Their husbands are great people that put up with them. They are all over. Look how beautiful they are. They follow me to California. They follow all over the country. And now finally we're in North Carolina, so you don't have to go so far. They live about 20 minutes away. But they are unbelievable patriots, and we appreciate it. There's actually about 50 of them. And I often wonder, you know, they're happily married. They're great, great people. They're happily married. But boy, their husbands, I say, darling, I'm leaving for a couple of days. We're going on. He's going, you're going to watch him again? But we love you and we appreciate it. And above all else, they're patriots. They want to see our country get better. So thank you very much. Thank you very much. So to the workers of this state, when you hear Kamala Harris attack my tariffs today, you wouldn't have anything left in this state if I didn't do what I did. This building would be now shuttered, closed, empty, no jobs, and now it's thriving. We're going to do the same thing on a very large scale for our country. We're going to make our country something that nobody thought it was even possible. Just remember, Kamala's not attacking me. She's attacking your furniture jobs. She's attacking your communities. She's attacking your factories. And she's trying to send all of those jobs to China with everything else. And we're not going to let that happen. Joe got all that money for China. You know, China paid him a lot of money. So did Ukraine. So did Russia. They got a lot of money. Remember when I said during the debate, when Chris Wallace was the host, he did not so. How's Chris Wallace doing lately? Not too good, right? He's not doing too good. I said, why did the mayor of Russia's wife pay you $3.5 million cash? How come? And Chris Wallace stopped me. You're not supposed to be asking that question. I said, why not? That's a question. He wouldn't let it be asked. You know, I had 3-on-1 the other day, and I had 2-on-1 then. I always have unequal odds, but we handled it very well. We got great marks on that debate. We had a woman debating. She just talked about, like the birds and the bees. She didn't talk about, when you asked a question, there was never an answer. There was never any knowledge. When you saw her the other day, and by the way, when she did the interview previous with the Pennsylvania person who was a nice person, I know him very well, they were the softest questions. She was unable, literally unable to answer the questions, and we can't have that. We cannot have it. We need 4 strong years. We have to bring our country back. Under my plan, American workers will no longer be worried about losing your jobs to foreign nations. Instead, foreign nations will be worried about losing their jobs to America. You've never heard that before. And you've never heard that before, I don't think. We're going to take their jobs, we're going to take their factories, and we're going to bring trillions and trillions of dollars in wealth back to the USA and back to North Carolina. A lot of those jobs, especially those furniture jobs, they're going to be coming back. It's not overly complicated, and we're going to explain it. And it's what many countries have done to us for years and years and years. And we didn't do it because we didn't have the leadership necessary to understand what was going on. Here is the deal that I will be offering to every major company and manufacturer within our country. I will give you the lowest taxes, the lowest energy costs. I will cut your energy in half. The lowest regulatory burden and free access to the best and biggest market on the planet Earth, but only if you make your product here in America and hire American workers for the job. You know, I had Wall Street geniuses calling me up yesterday. I said this yesterday when I was in Georgia, where we're leading also, by the way. That's nice, by quite a bit. But we were in Georgia and doing well. And they called me up after the speech and they said, what? Who gave you that idea to cut the taxes, but only if you make the product in the USA? Pretty good idea. They said, who gave you that idea? I said, I did. If you don't make your product here, then you will have to pay a tariff when you send your product into the United States. And we will take in hundreds of billions of dollars into our treasury and use that money to benefit American citizens. But really what's going to happen is they're going to end up building their factory here so they don't have to pay the tariff. That's really what's going to happen, most of it. But when they don't, we're going to take in a lot of money. Every once in a while in business, you'll look at a company and say, how is it possible that I can buy this company? This company's great. Happens. I've had it happen a lot. Actually, I've done a lot of them. But the other side looks and doesn't understand why you're so thrilled. And that's the way I view the incredible potential of the United States. This is a profit-generating machine that's been horribly run by either corrupt or very stupid politicians. And it's been allowed to be dissipated, absolutely dissipated. But it's like a company that you see it, you buy it, you change it, and you make a fortune. And oftentimes the seller of those companies will come back to me and come back to others and say, why the hell didn't I see that? Happens. I've had a lot of jobs like that. You take it and it becomes a tremendous success. And the seller would call me and say, congratulations, I never saw what you saw. You know, they talk about the paperclip. The paperclip is a very simple thing. A lot of people say, gee, why didn't I think of that? The United States of America is going to be by far the most successful country anywhere in the world, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to do things that nobody will believe, and it's so simple, and it's going to happen fast. We're going to do great things for the citizens of our country. We're going to make an absolute fortune for the American people. I think it's okay to say that. It's about time, because we've been given and giving away our country to foreign countries for so long. They've been ripping us off for so long. And now it's going to be the exact opposite. And we're not going to rip them off. We're just going to take back what was ours and then some. The centerpiece of my plan for a manufacturing renaissance will be a 15% made in America tax rate. You have to make it in America. So the tax rate is going down to 15% if your product is made in America, like this product is made in America. So I brought the business tax rate from 39% to 21%, the biggest decrease, biggest cut in taxes in the history of our country. And people said that that was impossible to get done, but I got it done, and I got it actually passed in Congress, so it cannot be changed easily, even though they want to change it and raise it way back up and lose all your jobs. If she gets in, they're going to want to make it 38, 40, maybe even 50%. I got it done. I got it approved in Congress. And we did more business and created more jobs during that period than at any time in our country's history. Now I'm taking it a step further. We're going to bring the 21% rate, which everyone said we could never get, down to 15%, but only if you manufacture your product here in the USA, just like you did when you were the furniture capital of the world. That's why those furniture companies, and you still have your craftsmen here, unfortunately, they're doing other jobs that they don't want to be doing. They love making furniture. I know the furniture guys. They don't want to be doing other jobs. They want to be making furniture. They're artists. Those people are going to be coming back into the furniture business. Then, next, I'm imposing tariffs on your competition from foreign countries, all these foreign countries that have ripped us off, which stole all of your businesses and all of your jobs years ago and took your businesses out, so that now they won't be able to compete with North Carolina or businesses in any other state in our once great country, soon to be greater than ever before country. All of your furniture makers are going to come back and come back bigger and stronger and better than ever before. They're mostly gone. They're all coming back. This is why people in countries want to kill me. They're not happy with me. It's a risky business. This is why they want to kill me. They only kill consequential presidents, remember that. But this is why, if you're one of the countries that's affected, you're not happy with what I'm saying. When they used to say they like Barack Hussein Obama, of course they do, because he did nothing to help us. When they like Biden, who doesn't know he's alive, of course they like him, because he does nothing to bring your businesses back. He lets the world rob our country, the robber barons. He lets them rob and steal from our country, and most importantly, he lets them take our jobs. U.S.-based manufacturers will also be able to write off 100% of the cost of heavy machinery and other equipment in the fiscal year. So you got the greatest thing in the world. You're going to have protection from them coming in, because we're going to put on from 50 to 200% tariffs. You're going to be protected. Your companies are going to come in. They're going to pay a low tax rate and a really low tax rate if they make their product in America, which is what we want to do, because we're creating jobs like no other country would be able to create jobs. By contrast, listen to the deal that Kamala Harris is offering to companies to keep jobs in America. First, the tax queen, they call it the tax queen because she's a big tax raiser, is demanding a 33% tax hike on all domestic production. That means those companies are leaving. That's all it means. You know, these are companies that are smart. They owe it to their shareholders or their families or whoever owns the company. They'll leave. They have to leave. So she wants to increase their taxes. They're already leaving, and she wants to increase. That means they're gone. Do we agree, North Carolina? The ladies of North Carolina agree. That's not a tough one, though. You've had tougher questions than that. No, she wants to raise the taxes on businesses, so now they can all leave. Next, she wants the largest capital gains tax in the history of our country. And then she is promising a brand new wealth confiscation tax or unrealized capital gains tax. In other words, unrealized. You know what that means? That means, you know, a lot of people are rich, but they don't have cash because they're spending it in their business and other things. That means they're going to have to sell their business in order to get cash because she's taxing you and you haven't done anything. The only one going to make a lot of money are going to be the appraisers, the accountants, and the lawyers. That will drive our country into a depression like in 1929. In addition, Kamala is shutting down power plants nationwide, causing electricity prices to soar by more than 100%. You know, your energy costs are much too high right now. And she's going to be lifting them by at least 100%. And she'll close down all fracking and all fossil fuel development. She's been saying it for years. So she had 15 different policies that she's changed. And over the years, I've been, you know, into politics, but mostly on the other side, like writing checks for politicians. Campaign contributions, extremely legal. But I've been on the other side, campaign contributions. And I've seen on occasion a politician make one change in policy, maybe two. She's made 15. She wants to confiscate your guns. She wants to do this. She wants to that. She wants absolutely there will be no fracking. She said it all over the place. You got to see 2018, 2019. There will be no fracking in this. Now she's saying, oh, fracking would be fine. She was in charge of the defund the police movement. You know, she's a radical left person. Her father is a Marxist professor. He teaches what his daughter is now trying to teach you. No, we don't want Marxists to be running our country because it's a short way to, we passed socialism. We never had socialism. I always said, we will not ever be a socialist country. And I was right, because they skipped socialism. They went down to communism. I was right. Got to keep myself right. No, we skipped socialism. This is unbelievable that this woman is running. She's a communist. Her views are communist. She destroyed San Francisco. The greatest city in this country 15, 20 years ago was San Francisco. She destroyed San Francisco as DA. She destroyed California as the Attorney General. She was Attorney General of California. She destroyed it. Most beautiful place on earth. Best weather, beautiful ocean, and everything. And now you look at it, look at what it's done. And Gavin Newsom has done a terrible job. He's a terrible governor. She's destroyed it, and she'll destroy the United States of America if she becomes president. And all those things that she wanted. You know, a politician always goes back to where they came from. Defund the police. Think of it. She headed up defund the police for years. She was one of the originators of defund the police. Anybody that wants to defund the police and is a party to that even for one day has no right to be the president of the United States. Right? Under my plan, we will cut energy and electricity prices in half, not only for businesses, but for our great young ladies from North Carolina. Your prices, they're pretty rich people, I think. I don't think it's going to matter to them, but it's going to matter to a lot. Will cutting the energy prices mean anything to you ladies? Still good, right? It's money. But we're going to cut it in half, not only for your businesses, but for everybody. Within 12 months, We will double our electricity capacity to compete with China and other countries on artificial intelligence. You know, people don't know the AI, artificial intelligence, is a big thing. Everybody wants it. China's already building massive electric plants. To be able to compete, you need more than double the electricity that you already have in this country, or you can't compete. It is an electricity-eating monster. And we're going to be able to do that, and we'll be more than able to compete. We're going to be able to get it done, but not if somebody else is president. It'll be a disaster. To slash burdens on workers and businesses, we will cut 10 old regulations for every one new regulation. So I cut more regulations during my 4-year term than any other president in history during any term. And we're going to keep it going. Some of them have been put back by Biden and Harris. And to the auto workers of our country, we love you. I am pinpointing you for greatness. China is right now building major auto plants in Mexico. They didn't start them with me. They knew that it wasn't going to work with me. As soon as I left, they started building. And they think they're going to sell their cars into the United States and destroy Michigan, South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, a lot of other places where they make autos or auto parts. And it's not going to happen. We will put a 100% tariff on every single car that they want to come across our border, and tell them only that they'll get rid of the tariff under one circumstance: if you build your plant, not in Mexico, but into the United States, and use our people as your workers. I will bring automobile manufacturing back to the highest level in the history of our country. We will be like it was 50 years ago, when there was virtually nobody else to compete with us. We're going to bring back the automobile manufacturing at a level that we haven't seen before in many, many years, maybe never. Vote Trump, and you will see a mass exodus of manufacturing from China to Pennsylvania. You haven't heard that too much. From Germany to Georgia, from South Korea to North Carolina, you're going to see a tremendous exodus the other way. You haven't seen that. We were getting ready to do it, and then a lot of bad things happened. We did much better, by the way, in the election of 2020 than we did in 2016. Just remember that. Millions and millions of votes more. More votes than any sitting president in the history of our country. But they beat us by a whisker. They beat us just by a little whisker. He beat us from the basement. As we save our economy, we will also seal the border and stop the migrant invasion into our country. It's the greatest invasion that we've ever had into our country. What they've done to our country is incredible. And what they're doing to our country. Under Border Czar Harris, millions and millions of people are pouring in right now from all over the world: prisons, jails, insane asylums, mental institutions, terrorists, all at record levels. We've never had anything like this. And you know, I feel so sorry for the towns and the cities where they are. They're causing havoc, and the mayors always want to be politically correct. One particular, I don't want to embarrass him, but one particular mayor is saying, we're looking for translators because the people speak no English. So they're looking, you shouldn't be looking for translators. You should be looking for people to take them out of our country and bring them back from where they came, because your town and city is being destroyed. The 21 million illegals she let in are now creating havoc throughout the country. Aurora, Colorado, and Springfield, Ohio are just two examples. What they're going through in those places, it's unbelievable. I mean, they're literally taking over those towns. They're taking over hundreds, those are 2 years, hundreds of towns and cities throughout our country, including the big ones. Look at New York. All of the people, what's happened to the quality of life. The quality of life is a whole different deal. Chicago, take a look at what's happening in Chicago. Look at LA. Look at what's happening in Los Angeles. They're taking over your cities, your big ones, your small ones, your towns. It's not sustainable by anybody. Yet after almost 4 years, border czar Kamala Harris has reportedly decided that for political reasons, that it's finally time for her to visit the southern border. So think of it. She was the border czar for almost 4 years. She's never been there. She went to one little area, but I'd like to go there too with our great First Lady and have a nice lunch. This was not the border that she should be looking at. I can tell you the real border because I've been there many times. She finally went after almost 4 years. And the reason is because their polls are crashing. She's not doing well because I don't believe the people of this country are stupid. I think they're very smart. And you're not going to let her ruin this country like she did San Francisco or Los Angeles. She ruined the entire state of California. She's trying to con the public, but remember, she is the one who terminated Remain in Mexico. I had a policy. It was not easy to get with the president of Mexico, who I got along with great, but he is a smart man, and he took advantage of our country. I said, we have to have Remain in Mexico. He looked at me like I was crazy. I said, no, I'm not. I want Remain in Mexico until we find out if these people are qualified to come in. And they stayed in Tijuana. They stayed all over Mexico, hundreds of thousands of people. And we took them in very, very slowly. I don't know if they can put up my world's favorite chart. I don't know. We're in a factory right now. We don't have billboards, I don't think. But the greatest chart, I love that chart because that chart saved my life. It was a chart on immigration. There was a chart on immigration, blue, gold, and red. I love it very much. If I didn't have that chart, I probably wouldn't be speaking to you right now. But it shows basically that we had the best and lowest immigration numbers, and that included drugs and human trafficking, a lot of other things that we've ever had in the history of our country. So Remain in Mexico. They canceled our asylum agreements with Central American nations, ended Title 42, a very important program, implemented nationwide catch and release. I had catch and release, but I catch and release in Mexico. We catch and release into the United States, never to see these people again until they murder somebody, and then we see them. And we allowed them, through absolute stupidity, to destroy the very fabric of our nation. Millions of people were allowed to come in totally unvetted, totally unchecked, from places unknown. I was with Tom Homan recently. He told me that the last check was they came in from 168 different countries. Most people don't even know there are that many countries. Actually, there are quite a bit more than that. 168 countries were represented with illegal aliens coming in. From the Congo in Africa, they come in a lot from the Congo. From jails in the Congo, they opened their jails. From South America, Venezuela, all of the countries, they're letting them out of their prisons and jails. They're letting them out. Their jail population's way down. Their mental institution population. But this is all over the world. They come from the Middle East. They come from Asia. They come from parts of Europe. They come into our country. Many of them are major criminals, murderers. When Kamala speaks about the border, her credibility is less than zero. I hope you're going to remember that on Friday when she tells you about the border. Ask her just one simple question. Why didn't you do it 4 years ago? Why didn't you do it 4 years ago? They've got very little time left, thank God. Very little time left. Why? That's all you have to do. I give this to the fake news media because they don't cover it properly. They don't even talk about the border. Say, why didn't you do it 4 years ago when you first came in? Why are you waiting 3.5, almost 4 years? Kamala's migrant invasion has particularly devastated the black community and the Hispanic community, including all of the people, the jobs, what they've done. The jobs are going to illegal migrants that came into our country illegally. our black population all over the country, our Hispanic population are losing their jobs. They're citizens of America. They're losing their jobs. Most of the jobs that were created in our country, and all of the jobs, almost all, were bounce back. They came from me. Bounce back. Every pandemic has a big bounce back at the end of a pandemic, and we had a very quick bounce back. And we did a great job on the pandemic. Never got the credit I got for the military. We rebuilt it. We beat ISIS very quickly, very rapidly. They said it was going to take 5 years to beat ISIS. ISIS was defeated in 4 weeks. Our military is great. And outside of some of the people on the top, I know every one of them, outside of those people, our military is not woke. You could put some of these people into a room and scream at them for 2 years, and they'd walk out of that room. They wouldn't be woke. We have a great military, and they proved that with the defeat of ISIS. So last month, American-born workers lost 1.3 million jobs. This is last month. And of the 1.3 million jobs, migrants, illegal people that came in illegally into our country, got 635,000 jobs. They got more jobs than anybody else. The black population and the Hispanic population is being devastated by Biden and Kamala Harris, by these millions of people that are coming into our country. And unions will be next. You watch. The unions are going to be devastated by this. And I've been right about everything. You know, they have a hat. Trump was right about everything. I actually was right about everything, right? In the Republican Party, which has become the party of common sense, we believe that American jobs should go to American citizens, not illegal aliens. We believe that strongly. And that's one more reason why we begin the largest deportation operation in American history, starting with the criminals, the murderers, the drug dealers, the people from prisons. We're going to get them out of our country. We're going to get them out fast. The terrorists. We have record numbers of terrorists. In 2019, Border Patrol reported not one terrorist came into the country under the Trump administration. I don't even believe that could be possibly correct. But that's what they say, 0. Over a period of years, they said 11 came in. Let me tell you, right now, we have more terrorists coming, thousands, coming into our country than we've ever even thought possible. And these are rough terrorists. These are the real deal. And only bad is going to happen. Starting on day one, we will end inflation and make America affordable again. We will have no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security for our great seniors who have been devastated by inflation. Our seniors have been devastated by inflation. We're going to have no tax on Social Security for our seniors. If any senior doesn't vote for Trump, we're going to have to send you to a psychiatrist to have your head examined. And while working Americans catch up, we're going to put a temporary cap on credit card interest rates at 10%. People are paying 22%, 25%. It's not fair. We're going to put a temporary cap at 10%. I will settle. The war in Ukraine, oh, what a problem, what a horrible. This is a war that would have never happened. October 7th in Israel would have never happened. But I will end the chaos in the Middle East quickly. And I'm the only one that's going to do this. We have never been so close to World War III as we are right now. We are so close. I will be sure that World War III will not happen. I'm the only one can say it won't happen. But you're very close, and that'll be a war like no other, because I always say it's not going to be 2 army tanks, 2 tanks, which, by the way, our country wants to convert to electric. I'm not going to let that happen. They want electric tanks. They don't work well. The battery size is so big, you're going to have to pull a trailer behind the tank. No, can you believe this? They want electric tanks. They don't care. They want to have a nice, free, beautiful for the environment as we blast our way through countries. These people are crazy. They're crazy. You know, they want electric trucks, even though a diesel-fueled truck can go from New York to Los Angeles with plenty of fuel left over. An electric truck, which weighs 2.5 times as much because the battery is so heavy, which takes about half of the payload, in addition to the battery itself, takes half of the payload. It has to stop approximately 6 to 7 times. In the Midwest, you just saw Biden, they built battery chargers, 8 of them. They spent $9 billion on 8 chargers. It's not going to work. And I'm all for electric. And I like Elon Musk. Elon gave me a tremendous endorsement, a very heartfelt endorsement. He feels that if I'm not elected, this country is finished. And he makes a great car, Tesla. He makes a great, great car. But you know what? If people want a Tesla, I think it's great. But they also want to have gasoline-powered cars, which is an advantage for our country because we have more gasoline than any place else. We have more liquid gold under our feet than any place else. If they want a hybrid, and nobody understands that better than Elon Musk, and he makes a great product, but not everybody wants that. They want to have choice. These people want you to go all electric within a very short period of time. Will never work. It'll never be accepted, and it's not being accepted. I will terminate that mandate on day one. Look at the war in Ukraine, and I think it's something we have to have a quick discussion about because the president of Ukraine is in our country, and he's making little nasty aspersions toward your favorite president, me. But take a look at the war happening right now in Ukraine. It would have never happened if I were president to start off with. And there didn't even have to be a settlement. It wouldn't have happened, period. Russia wouldn't have gone in. I spoke to Putin about it a lot. I got along very well with Putin. I spoke to him a lot. You know, I was the one that ended the pipeline, Nord Stream 2, in Europe going to Germany. And he said that was a bad thing. That was the biggest job. Then they say how nice I was to Russia. No, I wasn't nice, but we got along. We had a good relationship, which is a good thing, not a bad thing. But what's happening in Ukraine is a very serious matter. Let's say we did settle, and a deal would have been made with Russia years ago, 3 years ago, before it all began. And we could have made a deal easily. Could have made it easily. If we had a president who was intelligent, we could have made a deal easily. But what do you have left now, right? 3 years of horrible fighting. The country is absolutely obliterated. Millions and millions of people, including all of these great soldiers, they're dead. Those gorgeous buildings with golden towers are demolished and laying broken on their side. And you'll never see that kind of a town or city again. Can never be duplicated. They're all demolished other than Kiev. You'll never be able to rebuild the cities or towns the way they are. Impossible to do. They were thousands of years old. And just think about it. Just 3 years ago, you had a beautiful civilization. Millions of people that were living that are now not with us any longer. Magnificent towns and cities that were so beautiful could never be reconstructed, other than Kiev, which is actually starting to be hit right now. He wanted to save that. Most of the country is gone. The heritage is gone. So many people are dead. Many people have left for Poland, for Hungary, and for other places, never to return. And that includes many, many Russian soldiers are dead. A deal could have been made. There wouldn't have been one person that died, and there wouldn't have been one golden tower laying shattered on its side. A deal could have been made if we had a competent president instead of a president that egged it all on. And Biden and Kamala, allowed this to happen by feeding Zelensky money and munitions like no country has ever seen before. Every time he came to our country, he'd walk away with $60 billion. He's probably the greatest salesman on earth. But now, Ukraine is running out of soldiers. They're using young children and old men because their soldiers are dying and other things are happening to them that we won't even discuss. So many are badly injured. And what do you have? What deal can we make? What deal can we make? It's demolished. The people are dead. The country is in rubble. And who are these people that allowed this to happen? Who are these people? I said, don't let it happen. This never happened in my 4 years. I told President Putin, you're not going to do it. He would never have done it. They started to form after I left. And I actually thought they were forming as a negotiating tactic for Putin. I thought it was a negotiation. But through a lot of bad statements and stupid statements, he went in. And he's no angel. It's all such a horror. Biden and Harris caused this situation by the stupidity of what they said, by every move they make. But they caused the situation, and now they're locked in. They're locked in. I watched this poor guy yesterday at the United Nations. He didn't know what he was saying. They just don't know what to do. They're locked into a situation. It's sad. They just don't know what to do because Ukraine is gone. It's not Ukraine anymore. You can never replace those cities and towns, and you can never replace the dead people, so many dead people. Any deal, even the worst deal, would have been better than what we have right now. If they made a bad deal, it would have been much better. They would have given up a little bit, and everybody would be living, and every building would be built, and every tower would be aging for another 2,000 years. And it will only get worse with these people. With Kamala she doesn't know what she's doing. More people will die. More cities will fall. The ones that fell will continue to receive more and more bombs. They'll be broken up asunder, worse than they are right now. Nothing is standing. The crops are dying. There's really nothing for the Ukrainian people to move back to. And it didn't need to happen. Those buildings are down. Those cities are gone. They're gone. And we continue to give billions of dollars to a man who refuses to make a deal, Zelensky. There was no deal that he could have made that wouldn't have been better than the situation you have right now. You have a country that has been obliterated, not possible to be rebuilt. It'll take hundreds of years to rebuild it. There's not enough money to rebuild it if the whole world got together. They're not going to be satisfied until they send American kids over to Ukraine, and that's what they're trying to do. And the moms and dads of America don't want their kids fighting Ukraine and Russia, and we're not going to have our soldiers die across the ocean. I will restore, as I did for 4 years, the only president in 81 years, they say, no wars. Hillary Clinton said, look at him, look at him. He'll immediately start wars. No. Then she said, look at his rhetoric. He's going to start wars. I said, no, my rhetoric is going to keep us out of wars. And that's what happened. I kept you out of wars. My rhetoric kept you out of wars. I stopped wars from happening. If it were somebody else, they would have gotten 5 Nobel Prizes. I never even got a mention, and I wouldn't, because I happen to be a different kind of a person, and the fake news treats me much differently than they treat other people. Obama got a Nobel Peace Prize, and he didn't even do it. He said, Why did I get it? He had no idea. It was immediate as soon as he walked into office practically. He didn't do anything. What I've done is incredible. The Abraham Accords alone, incredible. But they haven't done anything with it. We would have had every country just about in the Middle East signed into the Abraham Accords, but the Abraham Accords brought peace. We would have had total peace in the Middle East. But I don't care about that with the Nobel Prize. I had so many people, you should get the Nobel Prize. I said, don't worry about it. They don't get the Nobel Prize to certain people. But these are the people that get things done. These are the people that understand strength and they understand peace, because we will restore peace through strength. We will rebuild our cities, including Washington, D.C., making them safe, clean, and beautiful again. We will keep the U.S. dollar as the world's reserve currency. This is how we will end the era of inflation, mayhem, and misery under Kamala and Crooked Joe, and unleash safety, prosperity, and peace for Americans of every race, religion, color, and creed. We're going to do things for our people that haven't been done for a very long time. And we started 4 years ago. We were doing things that nobody ever believed, jobs. And we had the greatest economy in the history of our country 4 years ago, 7 years ago, 6 years ago, and 5 years ago. Together, we will deliver low taxes, low regulations, low energy costs, low interest rates, low inflation, so that everyone can afford groceries, a car, and a home, the American dream. We will stop the invasion and end migrant crime, support our great police, strengthen our military, build a missile defense shield over our country, keep critical race theory and transgender insanity the hell out of our schools, and we will keep men out of women's sports. We will defend the Second Amendment, restore free speech, and we will secure once and for all our elections. Our elections are under siege. Everyone will prosper, every family will thrive, and every day will be filled with opportunity and with hope. But for that to happen, we must defeat Kamala Harris, and we must stop her country-destroying liberal agenda once and for all. It has to end. We have to bring our country and take our country back. So get everyone you know and vote. We want a landslide that's too big to rig. Very simple. Too big to rig. On November 5th, we will save our economy. We will save our country. It will go down as the most important day in the history of our country. We will rescue our middle class. We will reclaim our sovereignty and restore our borders. We will put America first all the time, and we will take our country back. North Carolina, get out to vote. Thank you. God bless you. And God bless America. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
All right, so Trump went for, let's see, it's 2:13. He went for an entire hour and 13 minutes. He was, I'd say about hour and 10 minutes. He was on time. As you guys watch him, I told you, when I first started this show, I didn't know what he was going to come out doing. I had no idea that he was going to come out and say what he said. But I'm pretty good at like seeing the news and seeing what's out there, and also seeing what the other people aren't covering. And I knew I was looking at something that was really, really bad. All the stuff about the other countries, and it's awful. And he came out today, as you guys saw, as you guys heard, he came out today swinging. I mean, absolutely swinging. Letting the deep state know, letting Iran know, letting Biden and Harris know. He pretty much said, I know what's going on. I know what you're doing. And I'm coming for you. I'm not backing down. And I was like, you go, boy. That's a man. That's somebody who right now, as he's shaking hands in line, let me go back so I can show you, because what you're looking at is somebody right there, fearless. He knows people are trying to kill him. Any one of those people, I'm sure they were screened before they got into the event that they don't have any weapons. But just look at the security right there. I mean, double layer of Secret Service guys. They put the women now behind him, so she's basically in following. But they had a double line of people. Like, as soon as he moved up, you see the guy come up behind him. He is surrounded right now. I'm just watching their formation as you see how these guys are blocking for him. I mean, you'd have to be almost impossible to think you're going to get near him at this point. And each one of those guys has something under their jacket. The woman, she's doing, I guess, what she's supposed to. She's got the watching his six, making sure nobody comes through. But look at them. All the guys have their hands up. They're waiting, making sure if anyone decides to move forward, they're there. And I'm sure what we don't see is probably just as impressive. There's probably more guys backstage, more guys out there, throughout this entire factory. That's the woman who always takes his pictures and stuff, so she's always right with him. But you have to wonder, with what we heard earlier today, when they were talking about the surface-to-air missiles and things of that nature and drones, what are they doing outside the building? How far away is the perimeter? Where are the snipers? Is there overhead cover with a helicopter or a plane? Because if they're going to look to use missiles against this guy, remember they have a range where they can go for a long ways. I think it was, like I said, a couple miles. So if they know where this building is, could they launch something? Which means at that point there'd have to be countermeasures taken outside. So I don't envy this guy at all. I love him, but I don't envy him, because just imagine what kind of security he must have right now, because these people wish him ill. They want him gone, exterminated, eradicated, eliminated, all the words that you've been hearing lately. And Trump comes out today, talks to this factory in North Carolina, tells the people, I don't know if they were workers or locals, he must have spent, and you'll see in it, because I'm going to cut it and make it part of the video, he must have spent 10 or 15 minutes, the first 10 or 15 minutes, letting everybody know, I know what's going on. I know you want me dead, and I'm not backing down. For him to come out there on that platform at that time and make that known to everybody. I mean, remember, at 1 o'clock in the morning, I showed you his tweet. Let me go back here and show you, because some of you guys weren't here then. I just want to make sure you see this. Okay, so you can see on the bottom, this is 12:47 a.m. this morning, 1 o'clock in the morning. Trump says, big threats on my life by Iran. The entire U.S. military is watching and waiting. Moves were already made by Iran that didn't work out. So he's right there acknowledging that there must have been yet another couple. He said moves. He didn't say move. Moves were already made by Iran that didn't work out. So he knows that now we do, that there have been ongoing attempts on this guy's life. I'm surrounded by more men, guns, and weapons than I've ever seen before, as you just saw. Thank you to Congress for unanimously approving more money to Secret Service. 0 no votes, strictly bipartisan. Nice to see Republicans and Democrats get together on something. An attack on a former president is and I said this earlier, that the guy picks his words. And that last sentence, an attack on a former president is, quote, a death wish in capital D, capital W. He's referring to the movie with Charles Bronson. Yeah, that's the name? Yeah. Go watch that movie. A death wish for the attacker. See what happens in that movie. In addition to that, if you guys weren't here earlier, this was a statement he had posted on True Social. I won't go through the entire thing, but I want to bring your attention to the right side column. Intelligence officials have identified that these continued and coordinated attacks have been heightened in the last few months. Continued is the word I want you to see there. He didn't say, oh, these past attacks. He is under constant threat. I don't know how the man goes out and makes these speeches. I don't know how you sleep. Maybe that's why he doesn't sleep. Maybe that's why he's always on the road. It's safer to be someplace else than just sitting in Mar-a-Lago. Continued threats. He knows people want to kill him. Imagine the pressure. Can you even imagine at this point, if you knew that people were looking to kill you, and it was an ongoing, continuing threat, and that your government may be involved, and they're not securing you as well as possible, and you know that your wife and your youngest son live there, and you wonder how your other sons and daughters and grandchildren, how are they faring? Because these people, don't doubt for an instant that they wouldn't look at one of these other Trumps as a prize as well. Thinking somehow, you know what, maybe if we take out, I don't know, one of the grandkids, he would realize we're serious and he'd drop out. No wonder they're terrified. They can't stop him. He won't back down. We won't back down. We must continue to support him. We must let all of these nuts know we're not going anywhere. And like he said it, maybe he does watch my videos. I told you about the movie network and that scene. And we're mad as hell and we're not going to take it anymore. And he actually said it. And I was like, oh, dude took my line. We're mad as hell and we're not going to take it anymore. And I was like, wow, maybe he does watch my videos. I felt a little happy about that. I know you guys realize it. At this time, you need to be righteously angry and just let everybody, I ain't taking this anymore. This is not where America is supposed to be. I'm tired of listening to cackling Kamala talk about what could be and feelings and warm and fuzzies. Nah, we need fighters right now. He spent a lot of time today talking about Ukraine in a very soft, subdued voice to let people know he had the empathy for what these two countries are going through. They're needlessly just killing each other, and they're being forced not to take a deal. Zelensky has been told, Boris Johnson, nope, can't do it. Not going to do a deal. You got to keep it going. We need to make that money. You're fighting a nuclear power. And there's been some restraint put on Putin for not pushing the button, going, you know what, I'm done with this. Done. I gotta believe, back channel, there's been word, just please hold on. Trump's coming. Just hold on. The money's gonna stop. We're not gonna keep feeding this guy, and he's gonna have to fold. That's my opinion. I've got no substance to back it up. It's purely conjecture. But I would almost believe at this point, the big guy, Putin, has told the little guy, you're pissing me off, and Trump is somehow getting word, just hold off. Just got a little while longer. And we can stop the money flow, and we can stop all this stuff and get peace back over there. Meanwhile, these idiots over here, I don't know if you caught it. I don't know how you couldn't, because he pretty much said, you keep up with this, and we're going to turn you into a beach. Not just you, nuts, your entire people. You're all gone. Which I'm sure is making the Democrats run around with like fire coming out of their head going, oh my God, Trump just said he would blow up the entire country. That's how you let people know, don't F with me. F around, and you're going to find out. How else do you stop a bully, someone who's attacking you, swinging? You're going to sit down and shake hands with them after they've basically tried to kill you? No, I'm letting you know you're going to F around just a bit too much, and then you're going to find out. That equation is coming to you. So unless you want to see your country go into the awesome beachfront property, just a big old sand dune out there, watch what you're saying, watch what you're doing. I'm just telling you, that's what the man said, that he's warned you. Which also tells me he knows he's going to win. He survives, he wins. And if he survives and wins, you nuts over there are about to just see what, the capabilities of a real president and a real American army will do to you. It will be a message to the world. Watch what happens. Keep messing around over there. The billions won't help you. You're done. Absolutely done. You can get the 50 virgins or whatever it is up in the sky. Good luck with you with that. But you ain't going to do it here. And I know right now there are people scurrying. Kamala's got to do that fake interview tonight. It's already probably taped, so she can't really say anything. But I'm sure the Democrats are going to be tweeting and posting articles about, oh, Trump just threatened Iran. Oh, my God. Do you want to put that in context? Trump threatened Iran because Iran's trying to kill him. Stop twisting things. Stop trying to make things about the thing that needs to happen instead of the thing that preceded the thing that needs to happen. Notice that they all started screaming about the pets becoming appetizers or hors d'oeuvres out in Springfield, Ohio, and instead of talking about why are these people even there being served up the hors d'oeuvres? Why are they even in the town? Tonight I'm going to do a video like to precede Kamala's interview where one of the people from MSNBC talks to someone in one of those small towns and says they're all here, they shouldn't be here. And then the NBC reporter goes, well, why shouldn't they be here? And the woman kind of looks at her like, this isn't how immigration is supposed to work. You just don't airdrop people into a city of 5,000 people and expect us to take care of them. I cannot believe that there are so many Democrats that want to see this country destroyed, including the person running for president. It's amazing. So let me take a couple of your comments before we get out of here. Haitians didn't start the current lawsuit. The commies did it for them. Absolutely it did. Probably Mark Elias. Iran is evil. October 17th charity event. This is a good one. The Al Smith event in New York. Why is Harris skipping? Going at Trump that day? Don't know. Why would you skip the event that basically everybody since Warren, what's his name? Mondale, whatever his first name was, didn't go. Yeah, turn your butt into glass. Exactly. Hate to break it to you. Where was that from Minxie? Yeah, hate to break it to you. They've been doing that for 4 years all over the country. Yeah, building a little orc army probably. Somebody wrote this is becoming really disturbing. Yeah, it is. It is. They've pushed and they've pushed and they've pushed and they've dropped tens of millions of people into the country and just told us, deal with it. God is on his way. Let's hope. Absolutely. Yeah, at this point, I think what they have to realize that the whole F around and find out thing is a lot more than one guy. There's only so much that Americans are going to take. I'm not inciting anything. I'm not telling anyone. I'm just talking about human nature. Human nature says people get pushed against the wall. It goes both ways. You're trying to take out the president, the leading candidate for the presidency. You think that 80, 90, 100 million people are just going to go, oops, sorry, didn't work out. She's going to be president by default. You really think that people are going to feel that way? Yeah, good luck with that. Can we have a lawsuit against the Haitians from... I don't know how... You know how when all the January 6th stuff happened? When all that happened, the courts basically threw it out and they used the excuse of the people suing didn't have standing. How does somebody illegally in our country have standing to use the United States court system against United States citizens? You want to explain that one to me? You're not supposed to be here. You have no reason to be here. You were dropped off as a newcomer, and you're suing an American in an American court because the American said something you don't like. when you're not supposed to be here. Good luck with that one. But then again, who knows? Thanks, Barry, for another great event. All right, so this one, our morning shows are usually, he's been doing these rallies. This one today was at 12:30. So I want you guys all to remember, come back tonight. We're going to have, it's going to be a rip-roaring, laughing time as we talk about Kamala. Kamala is doing an interview on MSNBC. And this interview on MSNBC is with a television host called Stephanie Rule. And Stephanie Rule, it's a joke. It's an absolute clown show. Stephanie Rule has already been on television. I've got the video I'll show you tonight where she has said, Kamala doesn't have to explain anything and nobody should even force Kamala to say anything. So right after she says that, Kamala says, well, I'll do an interview with you. Because she already knows walking in, she's not going to get a single tough question. It is a complete clown show. So at 6:30 tonight, we're going to get rolling. We're going to have some fun watching this thing. It should be quite the comedy of errors. We already know she's going to laugh. But we should have, I don't drink, but we should have a drinking game. Do a shot every time she says Project 2025. Or you can wait and take a drink every time she says baby removal. Either way, you would probably be wasted by the time the interview is over. Because I'm sure that's all they're going to talk about. Baby removal, baby removal, baby removal, Project 25, Project 25, thank you, good night. Okay, that's all you got, huh? Yes, and I want to unburden you and make sure you feel as good and have Transformers and unicorns and everything. We'll be all great. They're not going to ask her any tough questions, so let's just roast her. Let's just get together tonight at 6:30 and laugh at this woman. And just look at the person who should not even be running. And you should know at this point is not a real candidate. It's fake. It's fraudulent. She has no chance of winning in my estimation. The polls are a lie. They're trying to right now enhance their credibility by showing she's losing by 4 or 5. Yeah, that's it. Meanwhile, we're watching Trump go into some of these blue areas. There's a reason why Trump is now feasting in New York and he's planning on going to Michigan. His internal numbers say, I might be able to take that state too. And I might be able to take New York. I might be able to take some of these blue areas. That tells me he's on the offensive. He's not protecting. She's having to protect. He's going on the offense here. I'm ready to score on this blue area. Love it. Absolutely love it. So join me at 6:30 tonight as we laugh at Kamala's clown show. And don't forget, as I said earlier, we're going to give away, I was wrong, and I said we're going to give away a hoodie every hour. Can't do that because it's only an hour-long show. Stephanie Rule's show, probably from 7 to 8, she'll be done. So we're going to have to give away a hoodie every half hour. That's what we're going to do. We're going to have to give away a hoodie every half hour. So that's 2. We might have some bonus stuff as well. So you need to tune in. You're only going to see this kind of stuff here. You ain't going to see it on other YouTube channels. For some reason, they don't really engage and get people involved. Somebody had commented earlier that they really like coming here because it seems very familial. It is. My wife, when she's feeling good, she's in. Ashley, when she has time, she's in. So that's my daughter. That's my wife. And the other mods, they'll tell you it is like a family. That's what we wanted to cultivate here, so that people felt they could come in here, be around people they see and talk to all the time. And that's why I also want to do this thing with the membership, so I can show you guys. You won't believe the video I'm going to post today. I can't post it here, but you'll see what I mean when you see this video that I post later. So in that regards, before we get out of here, like always, I have to acknowledge fine people who have who have contributed so that I can do these things and give stuff away and have fun with everybody here. So let me pull this up real quick. And somebody had asked earlier, do you acknowledge all the super chats? Every single one. Every single one. All right, here we go. Frankie from Hawaii, mahalo. Isn't Zelensky an election interference tactic? Should be. Low Dog, greetings from Xenia, Ohio. Love you very much. Love and aloha to you as well. Thank you. Big Cat, missed you for a while. Barry, love your show always. Thanks. Do your own research, which I always compel you to do. At all times, everyone watch for anything or anyone. We must protect our president and each other. Don't forget each other. Don't watch if you're walking into a grocery store, a movie theater, anything that's a soft target. Just watch, look around. They make a move on Trump, put him down. I don't promote violence, but we talking about our president. Hey, Julie, thank you very much. Prayer vigil next Thursday. We're gonna have a prayer vigil. You know who I'm gonna be talking about next Thursday? In case you guys didn't know, with all this stuff going on about Diddy, did you know that Justin Bieber is a Christian? After all he went through and all supposed allegations that he went through, this kid has turned his life over to Jesus, and we're going to talk about that as well. B. Michael Nace, I can't believe the DOJ published that bounty letter. Yep. Moshe, we are looking at a reality show. Exactly. Randy Baird, thank you. That's what we all want berries to be left alone. They don't know how to do that. Just want to live your life. I'm going to say it again. Guys who just couldn't stand people with the alternative lifestyle. It used to just irk me. And then I realized, you know what? It's not for me to approve or disapprove. I don't want to be around that lifestyle, but whatever you do in your bedroom is up to you. I just don't need you throwing it down my face. I don't throw my bedroom stuff in your face. Why do you have to do it to me? And especially, why do you have to do it to American kids? We all know what you're trying to do. Can't even say that word here as well. Anyway, holy moly, consider designing your show to run like Wendy Bell. She streams on multiple platforms at once. Twitter, Rumble, radio. The way thousands still suspended from X can be included. Okay. Big Merry Christmas and Happy Birthday. What they're referring to, if you saw a bunch of Merry Christmas things in here today, it's because I mentioned the fact that Kamala said you can't say Merry Christmas. You're not allowed to say Merry Christmas. If you haven't seen that video, I'll see if I can find it and I'll play it tonight. Is Feliz Navidad acceptable since it's in Spanish? Marcus, China should not own 1 acre of American land. I agree. Thank you, Q. Q, did you answer me? Did you send me that email? Let me know if you're kind of like from Q or not. Star Trek, the continuum is the Democrats and I'm Q. Haha, funny but true. Suzanne, thank you very much. Ken Romolano, 90 Africans were just dropped off this week in our small farm town in South Jersey. Our city council is gaslighting us. This is happening more than where we hear about it. We need to get out and vote in November. You have to wonder, what do they have on all these local politicians? What kind of deposits went into their bank accounts for them to all look the other way and just say, hey, listen, we're going to drop off a bunch of them here, okay? You got that? What's your account number? Yeah, we'll take care of that. Now, just make sure it happens. I got to believe that. Pat Ziegler, Barry Ashley, Robin, what you said, not taking account of first-time voters impacting Virginia. The silent voter. You know, there's a big, almost conservative pollster. And when I do my polling show this week, he explains how he polls. And I think he did it like a soft disclosure because he explains to you how bad these polls are, including his, because of how they go about polling people. Hey, Z, thank you. Just another knucklehead again. Thank you very much. Z again, thank you. William Flanagan, wish I could become an American citizen, but as a Canadian, it ain't easy. I bet. Elaine, thank you. William Flanagan, Canadians. So Candace Owens discovered that Kamala Harris's family were slave owners on their plantation in Jamaica. Something you'll never hear the media talk about. Theo Benson, thank you very much. Shane Tankersley, thank you. Knitting Turnpike, thank you very much for all you do for Trump and to keep us informed. Love your channel and the peeps. Thank you very much. Severo, what are you doing? Please remove 75% of Gov. All alphabet agencies not needed. Term limits for all members in Congress. Absolutely. Intrigue Tech, right on, Trump. We need our country back. Man, he was on fire today. He's had it. It's obvious at this point this man has had it. Love your show, Barry. Thank you, Emma B. Anthony, thank you, Barry. Thank you very much. Terry Banky, thanks, Barry and Robin, for her patience. What makes you think she got patience with me? I was just looking to make sure she didn't come behind me. Just kidding, honey. Randy, Putin is not the enemy. We're being lied to. Oh, yeah, I fully believe that. Jeff Riggs, thank you. I still want to know who the guy in the green t-shirt and beard and ponytail. He's been at multiple events shadowing Trump. He's definitely not Secret Service. Big dude. I don't know if you guys have seen him, but there's this monster of a guy who's basically shadowing Trump right now. I mean, he looks like he could play left guard for the Rams tomorrow. I mean, he's monstrous. Yeah, not letting us know who that guy is. Claire, thank you. Hey, Mike McCarthy. Hey, very good show. Mikey likes it. The real, hey, Dave. What's up, real dog? Salute. Very love your show. Salute, chat. Love your stuff too, brother. You know what? We should do a collab. We should get out here and you and I can talk about some things. My people talk to your people. Okay? Let's do that. Don Harmoning, thank you for fighting for Trump and against all evil. Absolutely. All right, guys. Tonight, 6:30 p.m. Let's get together and have some fun and laugh at Kamala Harris and this crazy. I don't even know why they're even calling it an interview. It's not an interview. It's just more propaganda. It's going to be more BS, but we can have some fun with it. I'll get some sound effects going. I've got some sound effects here, and we'll play it every time she says something stupid. See you guys tonight, 6:30.